countries have had coups that have seen the ousting of their leaders. Leaders they claim are puppets placed by France, so they can do whatever they want with the country and their resources. One may think they are wrong, but the fact that this got France angry and threatens to retaliate sends a message of what is really happening. France has threatened to wage an attack on Niger, who just had a military coup, and says the military leaders are a threat to their interest. They just displaced over 1,000 French troops from Mali to the capital city of Niger. But why is France so worried? What interest are they protecting? Well, if you haven't been current, let me bring you up to speed. Niger military leaders just placed a ban on the export of uranium and gold, especially to France. Uranium is a major mineral needed by France in its nuclear power plants. Uranium from Niger powers over 1/3 of homes in France, yet over 85% of Niger doesn't know what electricity is. Isn't that unfair? I mean, it is only fair if France helped in developing places and make them enjoy even a piece of their uranium. As a matter of fact, it is not just France. 25% of uranium entering the European Union comes from Niger. It is only logical that one day people will come to the realization that they are being cheated. And they just did. But France has decided they won't let it slide. France says it will do everything to protect its interest in Niger. It will be important to note that the USA also has a military base in Niger, and also you can remember it is a NATO member too. And you know, whenever any NATO country is at war, other NATO member countries come to help. This is exactly what is about to happen. The military leaders of Niger's neighboring countries notice the pattern and decide to back Niger. Who are these leaders and what pattern have they noticed, and why do they back Niger? Well, if you've not been informed, Mali and Burkina Faso have also had coups and their countries taken over by the military leaders too. Mali is led by Assimi Goïta, while Burkina Faso is led by Ibrahim Traoré. These two are strongly in favor of France leaving all of French Africa. They also warned that any attack on Niger means an attack on Mali and Burkina Faso too. They warned France and the US that they won't hesitate to send in troops to back Niger. Other ECOWAS member states condemn this act too, especially as the president of Niger is held hostage and they demand that he be freed. They also gave Niger a 7-day ultimatum to let him go. As a matter of fact, Nigeria has closed its borders and stopped all trade with Niger. The economy between Nigeria and Niger has slowed as a result of this, and the people of Niger suffer already as the country's economy heavily depended on Nigeria. The concern of Mali and Burkina Faso is that they see this as the same thing that happened to Libya. The fight starts with one NATO member, and at the end of the day, the country is at war with many NATO members. Can you see the similarity? Libya is in bad shape today because of its richness in oil. Congo is in constant conflict because it is so rich in natural resources and only one person is benefiting from this. France. Today, Niger bans the export of its natural resource and tit becomes a threat to France's interest. What do you think about this? Do you think Niger should continue trading with France for peace to reign? Do you think Burkina Faso and Mali should send in troops to defend Niger? As for us, we love to see a world where every country uses its resources to make its people happy and rich while sharing a bit of God's blessings to the world with other countries.
It's through. Hey, Shalom Akim Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. I'm allowed to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Those in the gospel bride, lift them the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. Man, the world is rising up against Esau, Edom, man. Okay? Everybody is rising up against this devil, okay? And time for his reign of terror is coming to an end, because now you got the African nations, according to Ezekiel 38, there's going to be an impact with Russia, man, because they got a better deal when it comes to importing exports and trades and in particular minerals and resources. It says the president of Burkina Faso announces Africa's time of slavery to Western regime is over and the battle for full independence has begun. Either homeland or death. So that's That's words of war right there, man. Okay, and we're seeing the prophecies of the Lord really come to pass, man, because even though these so-called African leaders are trying to get their independence back, regardless of that, you still not going to get independence either, because hey, our Lord Yahweh Shai is coming to set up the kingdom of heaven on the planet Earth for the Israelites. So while all you people are doing all this fighting and taking each other out, Yahweh Shai is going to come back and destroy you heathens and put you in slavery and set up his people. And that's what you're not banking on. Because let's just say that if you did get independence from the Western hegemonies under the Russian rule, you think the Russians ever going to let you be independent? Hell no, because the Russians they're Edomites too, and they have that same nature of enslaving and murder. Okay, war. You a dark nation. That's enough right there for them to enslave you. But y'all both have a common goal to come together to do away with this Western empire, man. And that's the whole commonality of the world right now. Let's do away with the West. Okay, so once that falls through, and let's just say if you did accomplish that, which it will happen, but let's just say if you did accomplish that, then what's going to stop the Russians from taking over you? Okay, but this is nonetheless Bible prophecy, because it says white people will be the first target. South African Julius Malema warns of impending violence because the poor are getting poorer, right? And you know what? They've been having a coup down there for years. I remember going back to 2017 and 18. It was to the point that those South Africans, they was putting hands on them fucking crackers, man. Beating the shit out of them, man, because they know once Esau, Edom, inhabits a land, slowly but for surely, here comes the degeneracy. Here comes the boy agenda, the boy lovers agenda, the woman on woman agenda. Here comes central banks. Here comes high taxes. Here comes inflation. Here comes high rents. Here comes fucking diseases, pestilence. Here comes juice. And these nations are well enough to know that you Edomites bring nothing but hurt and destruction in your path, man. This is why the scriptures tells us, man, that Esau, Edom, man, he's like the deaf adder, man. He can't be satisfied. And the whole world is realizing that he's nothing but the devil. Okay, just our stupid ass people that's still in the mindset, oh, well, Esau, Edom, he's okay. Well, okay, Jake. But this is the book of Habakkuk 2, and I'm going to start at verses 5. It says, yea, also because he transgressed by wine. He is a proud man. And what's his wine? The philosophies. Okay, this is why when you went to, what was it, Turkey, not Turkey, I believe it was like some place in Iran not too long ago, like a couple years ago, you had women taking off their head wraps to the hijabs. They was twerking on top of headlights. They was literally defining men. And what is that? Why is that? Because that's the poison, and that's the wine that was promoted by the West, where we need to go around the world and we have to promote human rights. We have to get these women from under the liberation of their governments and their husbands. We have to give women's rights to work and to be who they want to be and to show their bodies. That's madness, man, because every society knows that once you liberate a woman, nothing but destruction and wickedness can come from that. Look at the West. I mean, prime example, if it was a working paradigm, then this kingdom would thrive, but it's not. In fact, women are at their lowest point within the last 60, 70 years. They are at the lowest point. And honestly speaking, I don't think they can come up from this point. So that doesn't work, and the nations are seeing it. Having men on men, that doesn't work. That's totally demoralizing your nation. People are seeing it, and they seeing that this paradigm isn't working in your country. Why would they want the same fate for their governments? That's stupid. Okay. But it says, a proud man need to keep it at home, who enlarges his desire is hell, and is death and cannot be satisfied, because everywhere he goes, he brings destruction and death. That's why it says, who enlarges his desire is hell, and is death and cannot be satisfied, man. And hell goes into the destruction, grave. But gather unto him all nations, and heap unto him all people. And this is what we're seeing here. This is why these people saying, look, man, we just going to start rising up against you Edomites. Okay, the dark nations are coming against you Edomite nations, and Esau, you're not going to win this war, bro. Okay, it's a done deal. And call Allah Yahweh Shai, because this is the Lord's perfect plan to get all these heathens to one place to destroy them all. Okay, but it says, should not these take up a parable against him in a taunting proverb, and say, woe to him that accreted that which is not his, and how long, and to him that laden himself with thick clay? Right. You go in there, you promise these nations a part of your US dollar by setting up a central bank. And then before you know it, you set up a puppet leader because the original leader, he doesn't want to play ball. You overthrow that country, you bankrupt it, you strip it of all the resources, and then you put the people in slavery. And you set up a puppet leader to do that. So people can look at the current leader of that society to think that they was just detestable, they're tyrannical. They did the same thing to Muammar Gaddafi, man. Gaddafi was just trying to bring back a particular proper currency to the gold standard, and they went in there and they took him out. Same thing with Saddam Hussein. They basically accused him of having weapons of mass destruction because he wasn't playing ball with the West. So now when you think of Saddam Hussein, you think of the world blowing up. We thought he was literally going to blow up the world. But those were the narratives that the West have given us, when in fact it was Esau that was the one that was behind this shit, man. Okay? But it says here, should they not rise up suddenly that should bite thee? No, Salaki, it says, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, but how long? And to him that laden himself with thick clay, which that word, thick clay, goes into debt. I bought you. It says, should they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be as booties unto them? Okay, booties goes into spoil, because now you're going to get spoiled. See what he just said? He said, look, we're going to, he says, white people, which they're not white, they're really red, and they're the biblical Edomites. Okay, it's time to start calling these people by the name that they were given instead of the name that they coveted. Okay, they're not white. It's nothing pure about any of them. Okay, they're not white. They're not righteous. They're not people of the Lord. The Lord does not deal with the Edomites at all. Okay, that's the nation in the Bible that the Lord promised there will be no mercy at all. Okay, it says white people would be the first target. South Africa's Julius Malema warns of impending violence because the poor are getting poorer. And why is that? Because you have a devil, a demon that's in power. It says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. And it says, and because of men's blood and for violence of the land of the city and all that dwell therein. Because how did they take over? Through military coups, CIA operatives, okay? You assassinating leaders, you causing riots, you causing economic crashes, all types of shit, man. You're halting resources. People don't have their just due because you're stealing it all right? But it says, woe to him that coveteth evil covetous to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Okay, and that's you devils, man. That thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. But woe to him that builded a town with blood, and established a city by iniquity. Okay, it says, behold, is it not of the Lords of hosts that the people shall labor in a very fire, and the people shall weary themselves for very vanity? Because at the end of the day, he's doing this shit to have global domination, okay, to steal resources, to add to his empire, to destroy the nations, and ultimately to set up a fucking Starbucks in a 15-minute city. That's his goal. And to bring wickedness, to bring boy lovers and women lovers, kid lovers, feminism. This is what he wants to do. He's like a cancer, okay, that has to be stopped. And he will be stopped, man. And he's being stopped as we speak. Though he's going to go head forth, but the Lord is putting a halt to that shit. All right. This is the book of Job 20. And I'm going to start at verses 18. It says, that which he labored for shall be he restore, and shall not swallow it down. And according to his substance shall restitution be. And when you restitute something, meaning you're restoring it, it says, and he should not rejoice therein, right? Because he's going in slavery, and all the shit he stole, he's paying that back in habitual slave labor, hardcore bondage. He's going to pay every dime, everything, every amount of wickedness that he's ever conjured in the earth, he's going to pay for with his enslavement through hardcore work and bondage. Just to the point that, look, we don't want your money. We just want to put you in that slavery and torture your ass, man. Because believe it or not, they are going to be tortured vigorously in slavery, bro. They're not going to have a break outside of the Sabbath in the kingdom. That's how bad it is to be an Edomite on this side, man. Call Allah, how about me? I was shy. We did get cursed with that fate of being an Edomite, man. Because if you are an Edomite, you are through. This is the best it gets for you, and your best is getting a lot worse. Okay. It says, because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, which is really the Israelites, because he have violently taken away a house which he builded not. Okay, look at what happened to the Native American Indians. He came over here and set up policies to do away with our natives, okay, and to put them in voluntary servitude and to kill them off. Now this is the result of it. A paradise known as America before Esau got over here is now basically a concrete jungle full of flamethrowers, man. This place looked totally different 300 years ago. But it says, surely he should not feel quietness in his belly, and he should not save that which he desired, and there should none of his meat be left. Therefore should no man look for his goods. And in the fullness of his sufficiency he should be in straits, and every hand of the wicked should come upon him. And when you go into the word wicked, it goes into laborers. Okay? This is the reason why, these nations that are rising up against them, the dark nations are coming against Esau, Edom. Okay? Because, they're tired, man. And this is the time of prophecy. This is the scripture saying, in the end it shall speak and not lie. Habakkuk 2 and 3 says, for yet the vision is for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely tarry. It will surely come. It will not tarry. And I'm noticing, man, and the apostles always said it best. They said, look, by the time the MOTB come, things are going to move quick. And you're seeing it happen because everything that we're seeing happen prophetically rise with Russia, okay, France, the NATO, EU, America, these African nations, this coming micro CHIP. You notice that all the places for World War III, all the pieces to fight World War III they're intact now. So when this global collapse comes, somebody's going to have to take the blame for that. And I believe, just my personal opinion, a global collapse, financial collapse, will be an institution of the MOTB, which will set the nations to war, because they all have a common interest as to wiping out the Western powers. And even the West is divided because clearly the EU and NATO does not agree with America. Okay, and you're going to see in time that there's going to be fighting, which you see it already. I mean, clearly Turkey has no dealings, or they want no dealing with America at all. Going back to 2014, 2015, that coup, they don't want no dealings with this place. So we already see a division between NATO and the EU. Okay, so it's just a matter of time before they just totally abandon America, and she's going to be left to defend herself. And it's going to end bad, man, for this place. Deservingly so. All right, so let's go from here to the book of Ezekiel 38. And I'm going to start at verses 4. It says here, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into their jaws. This is going into Russia. Okay, if you look up the ancient maps of Gog and Magog on the map today, you will see that this is the region of what you consider Russia today. You got Istanbul, you got Turkey, okay, you have parts of Asia, okay, but this is predominantly talking about Russia. You look at the map, it's like you can't miss it. But it says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with buckler and shields, all of them handling swords. These are the nations preparing for war: Syria, Iran, Turkey, Russia, the African nations, NATO, EU. All the nations are gearing up to go to war. And this is why that maggot Biden is talking about, hey, we may have to reinstate a draft. And we said they're going to have to bring back the draft because not enough men in this country are signing up to go to war. Because most men are fucking, they're like women, they're feminine. And most of them are turning into women, you know? So Esau, your best bet to do is recruit them O-Block niggas. Get the Kia boys, get O-Block, get all the gangs in Chicago, LA, you know, whatever, you know, these particular cities. Get those niggas and line them up by force, okay? Go to their cribs, kick in the door, put the guns to them, threaten them, okay? Ship their ass off to a detention center, give them that 6 to 12 week basic training, because they already know how to shoot shit. Put some fatigues on it and send them niggas to war. That's what you do. Since they want to shoot up everything anyway, give them niggas, hey, tell them to fight for their country. They love America, right? You know, the little drill rappers, get all them niggas, man. Get all them niggas. Get them. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be your only line of defense for real, because nobody's trying to fight this war. And damn sure the prophets, we're gonna be avoided of that. We ain't gonna have to go to no fucking war. And even if they try to force us, then fuck it, send us to jail. Shit, I'll go to jail before I fight your fucking bullshit ass war. You know what I'm saying? And that's for any of you. Well, baby, they gonna lock you up. So be it. Shit, I'll go to jail. Fuck them. Shit, well, they gonna try to come and kill us anyway. So, hey, the hell with them. But it says Persia and Ethiopia and Libya with them. Uh-oh. Look at this. This is the prophecy speaking, man. All right. It says in Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands in the house of Togarmah. I think Gomer, if I'm not mistaken, may be Turkey. If I'm not mistaken, Togarmah might be France. I can't recall Salakia, man, but I do know that Gomer and all his bands in the house of Togarmah, the north quarters, and all his bands and many people with thee. Okay, and it says, be thou prepared, not France, Salakia, I'm going off on that, Turkey. It says, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be a guard unto them. Okay, and that's the point. It says, be thou a guard unto them. So Russia is the big boss behind all these smaller nations, and this is the reason why they're talking shit to America and to the West, because they know that the Russians are, it's just it's inevitable that they clash, man. And that's America. They trying to go around dealing with the Russians, man. This is why they setting up biolabs and all this other shit, because they're trying to sneakily take out the Russian Empire without risking an all-out assault with Russia, because that's what they don't want to do that. But the Most High is going to steer them into that direction anyway, because everybody knows that you're behind it, E. But see, this is where Yahweh Shai comes in at, because at the end of the day, all you nations lose. All right, and I ended after this. This is the book of Joel 3, and I'm going to start at verses 4. It says, yea, what will you have to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? It says, would you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, would I return your recompense upon your own head, man? So, hey, you other nations have to pay too, because you've had an aid in taking down our people, which is the children of Israel, you so-called Negro, Hispanic, and Native Americans. It says, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children of Judah also and the children of Jerusalem ye have sold unto the Grecians, that you may remove them far from that border. But behold, I will raise them out of the place where you have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. And that's meeting Yahweh Shai to destroy you nations and put you in captivity. It says, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hands of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off. And the Lord hath spoken it. But proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war and wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near, and let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears, and let the weak say, I am strong. And assemble yourselves, and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh, and let the heathen be awakened, and come up to all the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is the Middle Eastern region. Jehoshaphat goes into Yahweh Shaphat, the Lord's judgment. Okay, the battle of Armageddon. Okay, World War III. It says, for there I will sit to judge all the heathen round about. Okay, and put ye in a sickle, for the harvest ripe is come. Get ye down and press it full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. But multitude and multitude in the valleys of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. And the sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Lord also shall roar out of Zion, and utter all his voice from Jerusalem. And the heavens and the earth shall shake, but Yahweh will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel, because ain't none of you setting up a government, man. Okay, none of you are setting up a government. None of you. Okay, none of you are setting up the kingdom. You all are going to captivity. The Africans ain't gonna be the next power. The Russians damn sure ain't gonna be the next power. You fucking gooks, you're not gonna be the next power. But we're coming into power. We got the next. We next, man. And deservingly so. We've been too long without a rulership, man, and this is enough is enough. And it says, so shall ye know that I am Yahweh, your power, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore, you heathens. Okay, and it shall come to pass in that day that the mountain should drop new wine, which is this understanding, this doctrine, and the hills shall flow with milk, and the rivers of Judah shall flow with water. And a fountain shall come forth of the house of the Lord, and shall water the valley of Shittim. And Egypt should be a desolation, which is America. And Edom should be a desolate wilderness, which is America, in your habitat. For the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. But Judah shall dwell in forever, in Jerusalem from generation to generation. For I will cleanse their blood, and I have not cleaned, that I have not cleansed. For the Lord dwelleth in Zion, man. So, hey, it's a done deal for you Edomites and you heathens. But with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. And with that, Shalom and Abba Shalom.